What it do? Do what it do.
Back at it.
Back at it. You know, for this monsters of we got a monster podcast show today. We got two Goliath Giants going at it this weekend. We got the Eagles against the Ravens. We got King Henry against Saquon Barkley. What up, my fellas? Y'all doing? What y'all got going on out there?
What's going on, man? Hey, ready for this game tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, I'm heading out there to be more, man. So I'm gonna need y'all to channel y'all strength to me, so I can put it out there on the field, man. And if need be, I got about 3 or 4 snaps left in me, man. I'm gonna have to. I got my jersey ready. I got my jersey ready. If I got to sneak up in the locker room and put my helmet back here too. Y'all see, I got the helmet. I got everything you need. Everything you need. Two good snaps. So I'm ready.
The way my VA disability is set up, I ain't got no more snaps in me. I can only talk about it. If y'all listening up here, I am not playing football. I am sitting at home. I'm reading my Bible, watching the game. That's all I can do.
I can tell you what. Hey, Gotti, you said gather your strength. The only strength I can gather up is to come behind you with one of these. That's about it. So if you need some help. Well, you know, the Arthur hand at best. Okay, because after that, I'm gonna need your strength in moving these legs, because you know that 2 mile ain't what it used to be.
Hey, I ain't got nothing for you. I can't walk that fast to be sweatpants on these house shoes. That's all I'm allowed to wear. You know? That's all I got.
Man,
what's up to all our loyal fans out there? All subscribers.
Say what?
I said, Michi finally found out what landscape is.
Yeah, because you know he like that phone.
Yeah.
Hey man, get you a phone stand and stop using that box of cereal back there.
No, it works good, man. I put it.
Don't keep sliding down the
box, man. It got the indent on it. I use the King Vitamin box, man.
Hey, he got his remote to where it don't slide back. Or he's in this remote.
Oh man.
So what's going on with y'all today? How y'all doing out there? Hey, y'all are loyal fans and our subscribers. We appreciate y'all every week. You know what I'm saying? Without y'all, we won't be out here doing this thing. So we appreciate all our loyal fans and subscribers out there.
For sure. So let's
go ahead and get into this thing. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
All right, let's hop right into it. Let's go.
Let's hop right into it.
Damn meat.
What we hopping into? Come on.
Hey, here we go. Let's go. How should Vic attack this Ravens offense? Go ahead, Meech. How you gonna start this thing off?
Vic, man. Hey, so what we got to do, man? Them boys on the front line, like I said last game, it's gonna be critical this game as well. Clint Hurt and that defensive line is gonna be critical to stopping the run. That's what we got to do. We got to stop the run, and then attack their passing game. But I mean, as best we can, plug up those holes, man. The A gaps, B gaps, plug them up to try to minimize the effect that Derrick Henry is going to be able to do. He hasn't seen a dynamic defense like he's going to see on Sunday. You know what I mean? Other teams have been running around, running all through them, getting them loose and all of this stuff. Not the Eagles. We go come through Zach Bond. I'm looking for him to have a good game. A lot of tackles. Jaden Carter, all those boys on that front line. I'm looking for them to have a good game. And then we just go from there and then minimize his passing attack. That's it. That's the key. That's the only thing.
The key right there. Okay, what you got, Gotti?
I think the key for us is to attack Baltimore in the first half like we attacked the Rams in the second half. The first half of the Rams, they was throwing all over us. They was running all over us. And then in the second half, we did our adjustments and we was able to slow them down a little bit, much more in the second half than in the first half. But we can't allow them to I'm not going to go too far into Derrick Henry because I know it's coming on down the line, but we can't allow them to get a lot of yards downfield and fast because they are capable of doing that. So I think one of the keys are to start off hot. We start off cold. We're starting off cold in the first half all year. Start off hot. Like I said, attack them in the first half like we have been attacking in the second half, because to be honest, this is one of the most dynamic teams we faced so far this year with respect to having a running receiving core. So Lamar Jackson will get the ball downfield. Derrick Henry will run downfield. He will catch the ball and get downfield. And we just have to be prepared for a dynamic offense, not a one-sided offense, more like the Rams. The Rams had both sides, both aspects of the ball, with the exception of they didn't have a running quarterback, which is something tomorrow. So that's another dynamic that we're going to have to consider when trying to shut down the Baltimore offense.
Okay.
What you got to do?
All right, so a couple of things. Like one, Vic Fangio, the only way we have contain Lamar. We got to contain him, keep him from running outside the pocket. That's one thing we got to do because we already know downfield toss to Lamar. He's good, but our secondary is better. So we can keep Lamar contained within the pocket and make him throw the ball. When I say throw the ball, I'm not talking short intermediate pass. I'm talking about downfield passes. Got to do that, which means Vic has to put a spy on Lamar Jackson. You got to. Okay, that's number one. And then two, Derrick Henry, we can't let him get downfield. When I say downfield, the second he breaks that line of scrimmage, it's like an uh-oh moment. Because if he goes through that secondary line of defense, we already know it's like a breaking ball going through that thing. So Vic Fangio has to figure out a way to contain Lamar or put a spy on Lamar to keep him from going outside the pocket. If we have to keep Derrick Henry from gaining momentum downfield. If we can do those two things, those are the keys to success. To me, that's just me. But Vic just has to come up with good blitz packages and good spy packages. Because if we don't, it's going to start to get ugly real fast. That's what I think.
Hey, y'all got some great key points in there. A little bit from everybody. I think Vic does need to develop some good blitz packages, and we got to keep Lamar contained. We got to keep him contained. And like Duke said, we got to the first touch on Henry, we got to take him down. Because if we bust through that front barrier, he's going to be gone. So we got to get to that guy early, and we got to touch him early before he even be able to pick up the momentum in that speed. Because once he gets trucking, he's like a freight train. He's going to bust through that thing. And also, we got what
are you going to do, me?
You'll bust through that thing.
You're going to bust through it. Okay.
And nobody ever said anything about this might be a revenge game. Ain't man Nelson Aguilar, does he play for the Ravens?
Yeah, Aguilar does play for it. Don't matter. It don't matter because you know what? He ain't catching the same way he ain't catching with us. So
Right.
It's the same thing. Hey, guess what? And they was catching the babies. Like Aguilar. They was tossing the babies out. They was catching them. Unlike Aguilar. Yeah, we ain't worried about Aguilar. And not at all.
Going into those two backs we got in the backfield. Which running back you have provided more for their team so far? What you got, Gotti?
Man, this is probably one of the hardest questions I think we had here.
Yes. We have two running backs that are pretty much in the same offense as far as skill positions and stuff like that. We got King Henry, man. That dude. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too far into him because we have our own question about him. But he's able to do it all. I mean, him and Saquon are pretty much the same running back. Now, I think they differ. I think they both have an aspect that each other doesn't have. For Saquon, he's faster. He's faster. It doesn't take him as long to gain speed like Derrick Henry does. So in that regard, he'll make people miss more in the backfield than Derrick Henry. On the flip side, Derrick Henry is harder to tackle once he gets to the second and third level. Saquon is not as big. Not saying that he's not powerful and everything. He's just not as big as Henry. And everybody knows once Henry gets to that second level, it's a human highlight. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, out of 10, I would both give them a 9 out of 10. But like I said, those two aspects are what they're missing from each other to give them both that 10. So this is a hard question. I mean, in the season, both teams, the records are pretty much the same. Their yards, we do have him on yards because they still haven't went through their bye week yet, and Saquon has more yards than him right now. So if you want to look at it as yardage, it's Saquon. If you want to look at it as touchdowns, it's Derrick Henry. But how long were the touchdowns? How many 2, 3, 4 yard touchdowns did he have? So of course, with the edge, I'm going to have to go with Saquon
because that's the home team. But you're talking about 9-9-9 and 9-9-8, right? So they both bring a great dynamic to both the teams, and it's just going to be it's a hard comparison, man.
What you got, Duke?
It ain't hard at all. Everybody knows Saquon better than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry need to sit his big ass down and sit back on the sofa and eat that cornbread. That's all. No, honestly, I feel like when it comes to Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, so Derrick Henry has one edge, but Barkley has another edge. So Barkley has the power and strength. I'll give him that. You know what I'm saying? Cornbread fed. Joker lived down there in Dallas. He can do whatever he wants. That's fine. But I feel like the elusiveness that Saquon has is better than Derrick Henry's. And I feel like although I haven't watched many Ravens games this year because I just haven't. But do they line him up on the outside much? Do they make him a receiver much? I don't know. Because if they don't, so that's another thing. Sometimes we put Saquon out as a slot sometimes. Mm-hmm. So those two things, I feel like Saquon has the edge over them. But I also feel like when Derrick Henry gets going, he gets more touches because that's what his sole responsibility is to strictly run the ball. I don't think he's more of a backfield catcher like that, like Saquon is. So those are the two things that I feel like Saquon has somewhat of an edge. Now, Gotti, I see you.
I mean, I don't know what the backfield catcher stuff is about, but say that stuff for the Triple X version of the podcast.
No. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like catching passes, outside. I don't see him doing that a lot. Although he may, again, for the viewers out there, he may do it. I just haven't seen it. But from what I've seen, Saquon is more of a threat as a receiver as a receiver and a running back relative to just being a sole running back. And again, once you get downfield, it's the elusiveness for me. Derrick Henry, he's a north-south runner, in which all running backs kind of need to be, but also you need to be shifty. And Gotti, hey, we already know Gotti holding the record at where Gotti? Where we holding the record at?
4 touchdowns.
Where at?
Oh,
4 touchdowns what?
In a single game.
Okay. Hey, I'm saying
Al Bundy at Polk High, baby.
Okay, there we go. You know what I'm saying? So Gotti understands. Gotti knows how it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to be elusive out there once you can start getting momentum. So those are the two reasons why I feel like Saquon has the edge. And again, like Gotti said, Derrick Henry hasn't even went through the bye yet. And Saquon already got more yards than him. That's why Derrick Henry on TV talking about slow down. No, we ain't slowing down. We keep trucking. We're going to keep this motor running, baby. Mm-hmm. Head up on the highway. What you got, me?
Hey, so I think that I look at the question differently, and it's not so much as who is the better back, but who has provided more for their team, right? And so the reason why I answer it this way, I have to give the edge to Derrick Henry because
get this man off TV. Get him off
TV. I'm not saying who's the better back. Y'all saying who's the better back. We know who's the better back, but what I'm saying is more for their team. I'm reading the question. If you look at Baltimore and the challenge that they had last year, that's why, that was the thing that was holding Lamar back from doing whatever he was doing. He was forced to pass the ball so much, so they were kind of really one-dimensional. Whereas last year, we had the capability in Swift to run the ball. We just didn't run the ball. You know what I mean? We did not run the ball. So I think that's what the thing was. And if you look at the schematics, Swift still had top-tier numbers as far as running backs when we used him as a minimal effect. So Saquon is a better guy, especially running east to west. Saquon is that guy. He has more agility. But we know once Henry gets a full head of steam, it's going to be hard to tackle him and get him off. You're not just going to be able to do that flimsy tackle and stuff that they do, grab people by the jerseys and shit like that. You're not going to be able to do that. But who has provided more for their team overall? I believe Henry has provided Baltimore with a 2-dimensional football game, whereas we had that, we just didn't use it.
Okay, we got Marlon Lawson over here. So both are great for their respective teams. Both excited to watch, but Barkley can do way more on our offense. Go Eagles.
Yeah, that's kind of like what Dookie was saying. He does more. He's out there running the ball. He's out in the slot. He's catching those swing passes out the backfield. I I don't think Derrick Henry lines up in the slot much.
Not really. No,
definitely not as much as Barkley if he does.
No.
Now hold up though, because Marlon, I'm not gonna let you get away with this. Marlon, I'm not gonna let you get away with this because a couple of shows ago, you've been in the comments. You was up in the comments. You was talking about how, man, the Eagles suck. Blah blah. Don't come in here now as the Eagles, and I know you an Eagles fan. I know you are, but don't come up here now talking about go Eagles. I ain't trying to hear either you with us or you against us because you ain't like us, brother. Don't do that, Marlon. Don't do that. Beachy, you know Marlon.
Oh yeah, I know. Come on.
Yeah, don't come here with that mess, Marlon.
Hey, so everybody got some great points. I understand where Michi come from, where as far as you saying Derrick Henry has provided more for his team because they was missing that aspect last season. So Lamar had to throw more. But then I look at it like, Duke and Gotti said, Barkley has provided more as far as offensive weapon type of situation for the Eagles. He can line up on the outside, he can catch the ball, he can run up the middle, he got shake and bake. And when I look at the question, I say I'm gonna give the edge to Saquon, not just because I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm gonna give it to Saquon because when I look at it, Saquon has set up more for our team as far as scoring drives go by. I mean, he set up Jalen Hurts to go ahead and do that twist push down to the 1 yard line, which allows our Eagles team to score more points. He has also lined up on the outside where he's also a dual threat, backfield and outside. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball. But like I said, Saquon has that take and bake aspect about him, but Derrick Henry has that straight truck. He's going to truck over you and push down the field. Where Saquon has the speed, but Derrick Henry has the ability to, his stiff arm is serious. That stiff arm Derrick Henry got is serious, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to providing more for the team, I'm going to go with Saquon because he's provided more as far as an aspect, as far as a dynamic player for the Eagles than they go ahead and those Ravens. Well, we got our D Luckett up here saying our D line will make the Ravens O line look average. Barkley goes for 150 plus yards.
Hey, Luckett, I appreciate that, but that's a law. That's a tall glass of water you got us up against now. Average, I don't think they're gonna look average. I mean, they're gonna look good. They're gonna look a little bit better than average, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like you got something going on with that, but
I think if everybody's been playing, like I said, man, if we get out of that, let's start playing in the second half mentality because that's what we do. If we can play like that the whole game, starting from the first quarter, we will be killing people. But it just takes us too long to get fired up, and we can make that like Luckett said, man. We can make them look average in the first half if we play the second half Eagles. If we play that in the first half. You can do it.
He said they will, trust me.
Okay.
I trust you.
Marlon sounds a little emotional, bro. Typical Eagle fan.
Get him, Meach. Get him, Meach. I ain't gonna
they all be like that. They all be like that in them comments talking shit. They don't be knowing what they be talking about. They don't be knowing what they talking about. I said just go pop a motto, man, and Humphrey, you know what I mean, and do your thing, man. Get back on the show later on, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ken, how does the Eagles defense keep Ken Henry under 100 yards rushing? What you got, Meach?
You say how do we? Hey, this for both sides, man. This for both sides, man. Just dynamic tactic. Starts off with the fundamentals of tackling, man. Those guys, Jalen Carter and that O line, they need to provide less holes for Henry to run through. And then you got the linebacker core, you know what I mean, coming through. You got Cooper, you know what I mean, he playing in the slot, the nickel corner. He's going to be involved in it. Zach Bond's going to be involved in it. You know what I mean? Sweat. All those guys are going to be involved, and they're going to be critical of that second line of defense of stopping Henry. So that's why I said that. I mean, if we focus in all of this stuff on Henry, it shows the dynamic ability that they have on both sides, us and those to be able to run the ball. But that, like Irv keeps saying, that's coming later. But yeah, just fundamental tackling the ball, man, and providing less stuff for Derrick Henry to run through. That I mean, that's basically it. Ain't nothing else to that. Stop and tackling.
You're right. That's it.
How you stop and you tackling?
You're right. We got that first touch. We got to tackle him on that first touch. That first, whoever touches the first, pause. Whoever touches it first, gotta bring him, gotta bring him down, man. That's what it took. Because if he gets to that first line of defense, he gonna be gone.
Or the second has to be right there. You know what I mean? Because like I said, they are Derrick Henry, they are Saquon. So, we know they're going to be able to run through some tackles like Gotti said in the very beginning, man. It's not like, we just go shut them down both sides, 20 yards running the ball. They're going to get some yards. That's what they do. But we just have to play smart, and the second line of defense has to be right there. So if they run through, Carter and all those guys, Zach Bond and all those have to be there and get those tackles up for the season.
What you got to do?
Man, honestly, like that D-line, we got to get a good push up front. And when I say a good push, like we got to knock that O-line back. The further you get the O-line back, the less time Derrick Henry has to react to either find a hole or go on the outside. But like Misha said, if he does break to the outside, let's just say he does. Zach Bond, coach used to always tell us they can't run with no legs. You can't run with no legs. You got to take them legs out. So even if he stiffs on you, I don't care if he stiffs on you and throw your hands up in the air, throw your feet up in the air, just make him trip. Do something. Don't let that jugger run nowhere. So we got the D-line's got to get a good push on the snap of the ball, get him back. That way, by the time he hands the ball, we right there in his face. You know what I'm saying? But Vic Fangio, he should know that. So even if he does get the ball and he bounces it outside, he's going to automatically lose 1 or 2 yards only because he's going sideways. And then once he does that, Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, don't let that stiff arm hit you, bro. Don't let it bite you. Because if he do and he stiff arm you, that second tier, he gone after that.
That's a highlight reel. We're going to get the highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be on the highlight reel.
Right. So we cannot afford that. So again, it all starts with the D-line. But like Misha said, if we plug them holes up, ain't nowhere to go. You got to go to outside.
It's going to come from the other side too, man, because they're like both of those. Lamar and Derrick Henry are just like Jalen Hurts. Both of them mostly run to the left side. So Cooper and them was on the other side. But those guys, they typically run to the left side of the ball because that's where they have the better blocking at.
What you got, Gotti?
So it seems like everybody has the same formula. We gotta stop.
Because we Eagles fans, that's why.
First of all, we gotta stop him at the line. We gotta stop him at the line. We already know Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they're gonna be getting double teamed. And where those double teams are going to happen is where they're going to be running him off tackle and from the inside. But I think one of the keys are to keep him within the defensive ends to prevent him from getting outside and getting that speed up. All right. So that's one thing. Another thing is we need to keep him off the field, which means passing situations. Right. He may catch a pass on first or second down, first and 10, second and short. But once you get into those third and longs, he most likely won't be on the field unless, they're counting on us to be in the prevent defense and they'll run the ball. So keeping them in passing situations where in the packages that Derrick Henry is not on the field is also a key to keeping him under 100 yards. He can't rush if he's not on the field. All right. So got to stop him from getting that full head of steam because once he gets past that second level, he's 250 some pounds. Who's tackling him? 190.
Not Kenyon. I'm telling you, Kenyon, if you listen to this, do not try to tackle Derrick Henry in the open field.
You get that joker a red thing and say "Ole." That's what you do.
You got a 200.
Do not try to tackle him.
You got a 250-pound freight train coming at you. You don't have any momentum at 200 some pounds, and that's just a recipe for disaster. And then by then, he's already 7-8 yards downfield at that point anyway. All right, so like I said, like Duke said, you got to make sure you get those tackles, no missed tackles, right? Because he got a lot of yams, yards after missed tackles, right? You got to keep the yams down. You got to keep them. Thanksgiving is over with. No more yams. You know what I'm saying? So keep them in the tackle box, man. Let them. If the defensive line misses a tackle, let them slow them down. Let those linebackers come in and get that tackle. Also, we need to dial up some good blitzes and get him stopped in the backfield before he gets started. Like I said, he's slow back there, but once he breaks that line, he has those steps, man. But if we can get him in the backfield and tackle for loss as many times as possible, that's also going to help us put him in the negative.
What up, Rod?
Hey, salute out to Rod, man.
Rod.
Man,
hey, I feel so bad for y'all, Rob, man. Y'all dropping like flies, man.
I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. I want to play somebody else in the championship game.
I know.
Group tackling is the mission. He said group tackling is the mission.
Got to get back there playing with all his damn toys.
Here we go.
Look, I feel like working from home. I got my jersey on. I got my workout shorts on and shit.
Oh, I was about to say them shorts. I was like, what type of shorts?
Wait, I told you, man, I did some squats this morning, man. I got a couple more snaps left in me.
Hey, hell yeah, Rod said, hell yeah. They put themselves in that position. They should have fired Shanahan a long time ago. They know he wasn't the coach to lead them to victory. They should have fired him and made those changes. Absolutely. That's why I don't feel sorry for him. They all know that out there in San Francisco. Fuck them.
So we talk about our defensive line and how we gotta keep King Henry under 100 yards. How do you think we gotta contain Lamar? What you got on this, Duke?
Man, like I touched on a little earlier, man, we gotta those linebackers gotta come up and the edge rushes, man. Those edge. So we got whoever's on the edge. Don't overplay your stroke. Pause. Don't overplay it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta matter of fact. I hate to bring up the Niners, but there was a play somewhat early in the season where Nick Bosa actually he was coming out on the outside, and he didn't overdo it. He almost did, but he stopped. He came back and turned back on the inside, and then from there, once he turned back on the inside, he literally went from side to side. That kept, I want to say it was Patrick Mahomes, so whoever they were playing, they kept them on the outside and actually prevented the first down. So if we can do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to go for the call. Just contain them. Again, you're already 5 or 6 yards to the left or to the right of him automatically. It's easier to collapse than it is to cover more so on the outside. But again, that goes with our DBs and stuff. Our DBs got to, once the QB starts running, it's harder for the DBs to cover because we don't know what route they're running now. So if we can have our edge rushers contain the outside and have our linebackers pump up, we'll be fine. I think we'll be just fine to keep them contained. To answer that question.
What you got, Gotti?
I think one of the keys to keeping Lamar Jackson contained is getting a lot of pressure on those defensive ends. Catch him from the blind side, get him out of his rhythm. Because once he gets hot or once he starts rolling, we all know what's going to happen. So I think a lot of pressure, keep him contained to the point to where he has to scramble, but not allowing him to run. If you do run, it's very important that we got to put a spy out there, man. We can't have those linebackers in the drop. The line's getting tossed around, and then there's nobody at the second level to tackle him once he gets there. So that's another important aspect. Lamar Jackson's deep ball is not that great. He's hit or miss. It's not that great. So what we have to do is make sure that the line is getting a lot of penetration up there, so he doesn't have time to get there and dial in that long ball, right? The long ball. So we get a lot of pressure. We get a lot of pressure out there when they throw the ball downfield. We want to get him to the point where he's throwing the ball away or he's inaccurate. But we got to contain his run. We got to make sure somebody's staying home. We got to have a spy, and if all else fails, we got to make sure we're getting a lot of pressure up there. Sweat, I think we need to move Sweat around from side to side, like how we did BG last week. Keep the offensive line guessing and dial up some good blitzes. Dial up some good blitzes up the middle and let him run right into one of the defensive ends.
Okay,
that'll work.
Your boy,
we gotta go right at him, man.
We gotta go right at him. When you had to say he will make you miss, 100% accurate on that. That's why when Lamar gets to the outside, first we got to dial some blitz packages to keep him contained. We got to come on the outside and bring him, just keep him in the pocket. But he does escape. I'm pretty sure he's going to. Lamar, he will escape at some point. We got to make sure whoever gets hands on him, they got to bring him down. because he's very elusive out there in the open field. He can shake and bake all day, just like Barkley can. So we got to get hands on this guy and bring him down. He also says that Lamar is in a position where he has to throw, get the lead early. Yep, that's true. That's what y'all said. We got to keep him in the pocket and make him throw the ball early, and keep him in the pocket so that he got to beat us with his arm, not with his leg. And that's what
you know what. You know, a question, fellas. Okay, so D. Luggett says we got to get the lead early. Playing against a team like this, against the Ravens, they can put up numbers just like we can. In the first quarter, or let's just say the first half, how much do a lead do you think we need to have? Is it one score, two scores? I'm just asking because they can score too.
Yeah, to me, these teams are so evenly matched on especially the offensive side of the ball. It's going to come down to two things, man: clock management, ball management, the turnovers. I mean, we're +3, they're +2, so it's not really going to be a turnover game. It's going to come down to the very end. The past 3 games, man, the past 3 times we played the Ravens, it's been decided by 2 points or less, man. The first time was 1 point, second time was 1 point, the third time was 2 points. That's decided the game. So it's not going to – I don't feel it's going to be a blowout game on anybody's part unless, we're running all cylinders and we shutting them down. But I think the ball management of the quarterback, whoever's the best quarterback that day is going to win that game. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side of the ball.
I say we just need to when we get the ball, we got to score. We got to score when we get the ball. We got to score. I mean, and I'm gonna tell y'all, we can't let Meech's boy Nick, his boy Nick, make some bonehead plays, some bonehead calls, when he wants to leave points on the board. We got to get the point. We got to get the point.
Meech, don't do it. don't do it. Don't do it.
I ain't gonna do that, Craig. I ain't gonna do that, Craig. Y'all know. Nick needs to go. I'm gonna tell you, that's it, man. That's it. You minimize the ability for Nick to put in calls and don't have him sitting in any plays, and we'll be good to go, man. We've been playing good. Let Kellen Moore do his thing with the offense. Vic do his thing with the defense, special teams. I think they might have a critical part in this, but let them boys play, man.
Your boy Ron said all this Lamar talk is easier said than done. But he's right, it's easier said than done. We could talk about it all day. He's electric in some big games during the season. Be more worried during the season versus the playoffs.
I mean, we you're right. It is easier said than done, and the only thing we can do is say it.
Yeah,
so
we ain't not saying
we gotta keep him contained. We're not saying we will keep him contained. We're just trying to come up with the keys that we think that that's going to be successful. Keeping pressure on them, getting pressure from the defensive ends. Yeah, I mean that's all we can do is say it. Like we can't execute it, but that's the plan that needs to be executed. And will it happen? I hope so. But I mean that's the plan.
Hey, if we want to win, put Gotti in. Don't put Boogie in. Put Gotti in. Hey, Gotti go out there and spit on them gloves.
Okay, so y'all know my boy BG went down. He had a heartbreaking interview. It touched my heart. He was when they cried. He was crushed. Look at Duke representing BG today. Representing BG, And with that being said, we got we went out there and got another guy. Do you think Charles Harris was a good pickup? What you think, Meech?
I mean, yeah, he's a good pickup. We just got to see how he's gonna, mesh with the team and do his thing. But as far as just on paper, yes, it's a good thing. But we just got to see how the chemistry he builds with the other guys, man. Because that's what it's all about. You can have a good, outstanding player, but sometimes they just don't mesh with the team. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll be able to see how that guy fits in and then go from there, man. I don't really have too much on that because we ain't really seen him with the other players. So on paper, yes,
he looks good on paper. What you got, Gotti?
Same thing. Look good on paper. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, why are we picking this guy? Why are we considering this guy?" Blah blah blah. Nobody who is eligible right now is a all-star. Yeah. Like who else are we going to get? Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we had these all pros who just decided to sit out a year and then say, I'm gonna come back and play for the Eagles. These guys have been cut. They may not be the greatest. They're good, but I mean, who else we gonna get? So I haven't watched a lot of film. I watched a little bit of film on him today. The of course, he looked pretty good because I was watching the highlights.
Yeah.
But we gotta get him in there. It's kind of tough that he came at this time. Of course, during the injury, but during the week that we play a dynamic team such as Baltimore. So hopefully he can get in there, get some reps in. Hopefully he's out there. He's hungry. He brings some leadership to the team and get out there and make it happen.
What you think, Duke?
Well, Charles Harris right now he's a filler player. He's just here to provide a little bit of depth. We probably won't see him until probably 2, maybe 3 weeks from now. That's even if he plays from then. But right now we're probably going to go with Nolan Smith. And you can ask Rod. I had all praises for Nolan Smith when we picked him up, and I truly thought, me personally, I thought he was going to do better than Jalen Carter at the time. But we just haven't used him like that. So I don't see him coming and making an immediate impact. I feel like I said, 2 or 3 games in, because one, he doesn't even know the play calls. He doesn't know the play sheet. He doesn't know the routes and stuff to run. So just stuff like that. I think he's a non-fighter right now, and I just feel like we picked him up just to provide a little bit of depth on that area. But I don't see him making any significant changes to the defense at all. At least for another 2 or 3 weeks. So
you don't need to study the playbook, the blitz.
Yeah,
very true.
That's all talent. That right there is talent.
Hey, but you say talent, but everybody in the NFL got talent. Everybody in the NFL.
They do, but they don't have the ability to. Yeah. Everybody's not blitzing capability. Some people just meant to block, and some people just meant to hold it up so the real blitzers can get over there and do their job.
Hey, guess what? Hey, if Gotti's in, I say, look at Gotti and say, blitz him. What you gonna do, Gotti? You gonna get there? You gonna have to bite. You're gonna try to get in there.
I mean, that's just like to me, that's saying, and take it on a different angle. This is my whole thing about Micah Parsons. He's a great, chasing the quarterback down and all that stuff. But if you ask him to drop into the zone or do something like that, he just doesn't look like Micah Parsons. So that's what I mean by everybody has the ability to, do certain things. That's why they pick up certain people from certain roles that they expect them to play on teams.
Right.
Yeah. So I think like Duke said, he's a filler right now. Because Graham went out of the. It's sad that he went out, but he went out. He was playing pretty good football at the time.
He went out on top.
He went out on top. He did on top.
If that's what you're gonna do with that, do it like that.
He went out balling. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope people don't have that mentality where they think this guy's gonna come in and be like another BG off the rip. No, this guy's got to work into the fold. He's got to work into the fold. He's got to work into the scheme of things before he can try to fill that role that BG left behind.
Hey, anybody coming in thinking that they're gonna replace BG, it's like that one Instagram meme, but when my man say, "These is a 12, y'all cats were 16 girls." Tighten up.
Yeah, BG, you're not gonna replace him, man. BG is already in the heart and souls of all the Eagles fans. BG has the #1 best play in Eagles history. You're not going to be able to top him. He has the top play in Eagles history as of right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, hey, that's it. You're not going to replace him. You're not going to replace him.
You can't replace BG, man.
That's
BG
just like saying Jurgens was going to come in and replace Jason Kelsey. It's just not going to happen. You may be able to fill the role or do what you can but you're not going to replace that guy. He's in the heart and soul of all these guys, man. 13 years in the game doing his thing. You're not going to replace him. You can do your part. Try to make a name for yourself, but you're not going to replace him.
Be the best Charles Harris you can be.
That's it.
That's it. If BG is solidified, it has solidified his name in Eagles history forever. You know what I'm saying? Forever. So, what's the key to success, for us, the Eagles, to go ahead and beat those Raiders? What's the key to success, Gotti?
Like I'm going to keep saying, man, we got to start off playing the Eagles' second half mentality in the first half. We got to. We get stomped on both sides of the ball. I'm not gonna say stomped. We get smacked around on both sides of the ball in the first half. of almost every game this season. We come out barely scoring in the first quarter. We do. I mean, a couple games only scored a field goal, but we gotta get out of that second half mentality, because I think somebody asked earlier, what do we need to go into halftime? What kind of lead do we need to go into halftime? If we're not playing that second half football in the first half, we're not going to have a lead. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a BS team to where we can just take our time and try to evaluate what they're doing on both sides of the ball and say, okay, we're going to adjust in the second half. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We're basically playing against ourselves, quarterback, running back, receivers, you know, and the defense. We probably got them on defense, but we gotta get fired up early. Gotta get fired up early. Coaches need to make those adjustments. First series of offense, first series of defense, make the adjustments and turn on that second half mentality in the first half, and then we'll be good to go.
What you think, Neat?
Hey, establishing a good run game, that's going to set us up, because Baltimore has they're 31st in pass, you know what I mean, the passing game. You know what I mean? Their defense sucks. Their passing defense sucks. So establishing a run game early, so that'll set up RPO and be able to allow Jalen to be able to, you know, go down there and make those decisions, so they're not blitzing every time, because they know if they get blitzed, we just go burn them across the middle. So set those plays up. If they're doing that blitz and shit, then Goddard or Calcutta, whatever his name is, they'll be able to come through and get some plays across the middle and set up our passing game, because like I said, they are 31st against the pass. But the Baltimore is also 78.7% in the red zone. So the red zone offenses are going to be critical, because both teams, we know we can get down there to the red zone. We just how effective we are. And Goddard, I think he hit the nail on the head when he said making those key adjustments throughout the game. Because if you sit there and we allowing the same thing to happen to us, we just started scoring in the first quarter, 2-3 games ago. We just started. We can't forget that. We just started scoring in the first quarter about 2-3 games ago. So
the game we went to.
Yeah, the game we went to. That's when they first scored in the first quarter. And to me, I mean, it's sad. We've been winning games, but you can't do that against elite teams, especially towards the ass end of the season. So yeah, making those key adjustments, establishing a run game early, so we can't open up our passing attack, because they are shitty against the pass, and they're just going from there.
Yeah, I think that we definitely need to come out hot. We need to come out hot, you know, scoring in the first quarter. You know, like me said, their pass defense is trash, you know. So we got to so our guys in the back, Dijon and Watamo, got to be back there, you know, locking Flowers and Aguilar down in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Our D-line got to just make sure that King Henry doesn't bust through. Our first and second line of defense got to contain that guy, you know. And D-Lux said James needs to continue taking care of the ball, and everything else will follow. You know, he needs to continue taking care of that football. You know, he's been getting way better than he has been in the past. He's been throwing the ball away when he's going to take a big sack, which is great, because we can't afford to go backwards in this game. We got to keep pushing forward. What you got in that, Duke?
Well, you know what? I mean, I understand what everybody's saying with the running and all that, but I mean, if they 32nd in pass defense, why are we just attack the pass defense? Attack that. Throw the ball. Keep throwing the ball. If we know they're terrible at it, we got the two of the best receivers in the league and one of the best tight ends in the league. Not Calter, you know, Goddard. So why would we not start throwing the ball? That way, you make the secondary move back. Once the secondary does that, then Saquon can come in and continuously busting through the holes, and you know, going around the edges and all that. So my thing is, if we know for a fact you have the last best secondary in the league, why would we not exploit that up front? Just exploit it now. Get it out the way. Make everybody push back. That way, Saquon can do his thing up front. Hey, shout out to him. Definitely he's throw the ball. Shout out to him.
Hey, I mean, I haven't heard anything about Smitty. I don't know if he's a go yet. He's still questionable for the game.
Yesterday, he practiced yesterday, and he practiced day before yesterday. So got 2 practices out the way. So I think he's gonna be a go. And if he's not a go, then to me that's gonna be a tough one. But I don't think that he would be a scratch for this game. being a
I don't think it'd be a tough one.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think he'd be 100%, but it would be good to have him out there on the field to distract away from AJ. You know, have him out there as a decoy. If he's up, no, Smitty.
No. I'm saying I was gonna say, but Dotson needs to do what he got paid to come here to do and take that heat off of Smith. I would rather, because like I keep saying, stressing that the Baltimore is 31st on the pass defense, right? They're 31st next to the last team. So I wouldn't want him to come out here because you know them boys, when they get out there, they like to play hard. So it would suck for him to come out here, Smitty, to come out here and tear something up that he really didn't need to tear up. You know what I mean? The other guys need to step up in their place. Dotson need to step up and do what needs to be done in his place. And if we don't need to use him like that, we shouldn't use him like that, because we definitely going to need him for a deeper run into the playoffs and onto the championships and stuff like that. So if we have the ability to sit Smitty, sit him for a little bit, because like I said, man, he's 152 pounds, soaking wet with all his gear on. He can't be taking all them hits. So save him as best as possible.
And we know how them hammies, them hamstring injuries, man. Them things linger, bro. Yeah. Them things linger. You try to plant on that foot, and then So if he ain't ready to go 100%, if we could go ahead and sit him and let those other guys that we paid to do their thing on the field, let them do their thing and let Smitty get that rest. I definitely think that's what we need to do.
That's what happened with Mike Evans in Tampa Bay, man. That he didn't come back from that injury. He tried to play too early and came back, and now he's going for the whole time. So you don't want that to happen.
It happened to Kevin Durant too in the finals. Just saying.
Okay. Let's go ahead and switch our hats a little bit. You know, we're gonna take off our Eagles cap and put that old Baltimore Ravens cap on real quick.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're gonna put that Baltimore Ravens cap on, and if you was the D coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, how would you go ahead and take this Eagles offense? What you got, Meek?
Hey, I'm gonna start off, man. Hey, they should have went. What's today? Today is what, Saturday? They should have went to Bible study on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, they need a prayer group. They need a prayer group on the sidelines. They need a prayer group, get some prayer oil, do whatever they need to do, because we're coming for that ass on Sunday. We're coming for that ass. We're gonna bust that ass and we're gonna show. I tried to be calm throughout the whole show, but now it's time to talk about the Eagles offense, baby. Let's get it started. We're gonna bust that ass. Ain't nothing they can be able to do to stop us, hold us back, baby. We're the best. Sometimes I hate to say it myself, but we're the best, man. We got to show them why we out here, what it's all about down there in Baltimore. Let's go.
What you got, guys?
If I was Baltimore's defense, I'd blitz from defense's left to offense's right. So that pushes Jalen Hurts to his left. You know, even if he can get a pass off, he still has to make some body adjustments to get in a throwing position. I wouldn't bring the pressure from his left, because he can roll. He can suck it down. He can take it down and run, or he can find an open receiver downfield. You know, he's done it plenty of times at AJ Brown. He had that nice Saquon had that nice catch where he was down on one knee, like in the red zone, off of Jalen rolling to the right. So I would bring the blitz either up the middle or from the offensive right side, get him running, get him rolling to his left. We got any rookie? So who we got? Becton. And actually keep us passing. If you guys watch I always watch the game twice. I watched it just for enjoyment, and then I kind of watch it for evaluation. And during the game, I'm like, man, Becton is trash, man. And I watched him the second time. I watched him the second time I watched the game, and all the run plays, man, he was pancaking people. You know, he was pancaking people. But we get into a lot of problems in our passing situation with holding men downfield, which I think we got like every game. You know what I'm saying? So mistakes in the passing and getting the pressure coming from the offensive right in the passing is going to put a lot of pressure on the Eagles. And if I was a Ravens defense, that's what I would do often.
What you think, Duke? If you're the coordinator for the coordinator for the Ravens.
Look, man, if I was the defensive coordinator, I would call three people. I would call Chuck D, Flavor Flav, and Professor X, because it's gonna take a nation of millions to hold us back. That's right. He ain't gonna be able to call nobody. Okay, we gonna run it. We gonna be having to wait with them. It's as simple as that. There ain't no way they're gonna be able to stop us. So guess what? If you the Ravens D court, hey, guess what? Go ahead and get your post game speech ready. well, you know what? We tried this, we tried that, and it wasn't working. It's simple as that. Like Bubba Dub said, I can't do it. God said he ain't gonna put no more on me that I can't allow, and I do. I can't do it no more. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They think they got it together, and they're not gonna have it together. Saquon gonna have another better day because now he's got something to prove. He's gonna be like, oh, they talking all this mess about Derrick Henry. I'm that guy. Okay, I'm that guy. Lamar think, his cocky self, he gonna think that so-and-so. Jalen Hurts says, yeah, he went to Oklahoma, went to Alabama. Guess what? I'm gonna show him. And he gonna be looking just like you normally do on the sidelines, mad, throwing his helmet because he can't get shit together. That's what's gonna happen. I'm through.
Right. Duke said it, you know what I'm saying? So we got another question out here, talking about these MVP candidates, Saquon and King Henry. So it's saying the MVP situation as far as the running back goes, what carries more weight? What's more important? Is the rushing yards or the touchdowns, the rushing touchdowns? What you think, Duke?
Honestly, to answer that question, if I have to pick one of the two, it's going to be rushing yards. Rushing yards is what it is. TDs are one thing, but rushing yards, they're going to think about it. Any stat that you've looked at on TV have always said the yards are first. That's the first thing looking at yards. We can't take away from the TDs because guess what? If Jalen Hurts runs a touch push on third, that's the play caller. That has nothing to do with Saquon. Saquon didn't call that play. You know what I'm saying? If you have if you have a play that constantly works and it's a 98% go rate, you're going to call that play in that situation. Well, I don't care who's on the field. You're going to make that call. So it's hurting him, but it's not his fault. Now, if you're looking at yards, you can control how many yards you get. Derrick Henry, he can control that. So to me, I think the rushing TDs have a bigger impact than the rushing yards have a bigger impact than TDs. That's just me when it comes to MVP race. Because you can run for 200,000 yards and no TDs, but you want to say, man, ran for 200,000 yards, but don't tell me you ran for 1,000 yards and 18 TDs. But yeah, your 18 TDs were like 1 yard runs. So that's the way I look at it. So to me, rushing yards.
What you say, Meeks? What you say?
Hey, if we talking about running backs, man, I want to see you got to run. That's plain and simple. You got to run the ball, man. Hey, that's self-explanatory. Everybody knows what he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to break the single-season rushing record and all that type of stuff. They do that because Jalen Hurts has more rushing TDs than Saquon Barkley. To exactly what Duke is talking about, man. The tush push and all that shit. Saquon does all the stuff, get him down there, and then he just runs the 1 yard in. So he has more rushing TDs than Saquon does. So I don't think that really matters. It matters, but it doesn't. It's just like the sprinkles. But those rushing yards for the running back, running those yards, that's what he's gonna have to do for the MVP. Absolutely.
Run.
Yeah, I mean, just like the fella said, I don't think the number of touchdowns should matter. I mean, there's plenty of times Saquon Barkley got the ball down to the one and Jalen Hurts ran it in.
Yeah.
It's almost a guaranteed touchdown, the tush push. So why not? Like we're not here for stats. You know what I'm saying? It's a team sport, and I love and by saying this to kind of back this up, I love when they showed that clip. Nick Sirianni, I think was playing the Giants. Was it the Giants? When he went to Saquon on the bench, he said, "Hey, you're like 17 yards away from your record." If Saquon was more worried about MVP and all that stuff, he'd be like, "Yo, let me get back in here." You know what I'm saying? But when they won that 1 yard touchdown, Jalen Hurts, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? There's another clip I was watching. They ran against the Giants. They ran tush push twice in a row. They didn't get it the first time. Saquon looked to the bench to the coach and said, "Run it again."
Run it again.
He didn't say run me. He said, "Run it again." He don't care about that.
Run it again.
So, if anything, if you're going to have a conversation about touchdowns and MVP race, I would go by the longest touchdowns, right? Because if you're gonna say, okay, he got more touchdowns than him, okay, well, this guy has out of those touchdowns, he has 5 1 yard runs. Exactly. The receiver caught an 80-yard bomb, got him down to the one. This guy comes off the bench and punches it in for a yard 5 times during the year. So that ain't anything. So, but also nobody here has ever been on any NFL staff, any NFL voting, anything like that. So we see this stuff. Those people in those positions know that, okay, Derrick Henry has more touchdowns than Saquon Barkley, but look how many 1-yard touchdown runs he has. Saquon, like right now, he has a 2-yard and a 3-yard. All the rest of them is like 11 and up, from 11 to like 72 yards. You know what I'm saying? So would you rather have a running back who can score 70 yards, 60-yard touchdowns, or somebody who just punches it in from the 1-yard line when a quarterback can do the same thing? You don't need a running back for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the yards matter much more than the touchdown.
Don't forget those 2 70-yard touchdown runs that Saquon has, and also the backwards hurdle. That backwards hurdle is he's in everybody's mind. They got jerseys, they got shirts, they got hoodies. That's what's going to propel him. Saquon, keep doing what he's doing. He's on pace to break all the records. Keep doing what he's doing. Hey, that's it. Rushing.
Now everybody talks about rushing yards and stuff like that. What about I'm looking at the rushing yards, touchdowns. Also, I'm looking at the all-purpose yards of these running backs. All-purpose yards of these running backs. Like you say, Derrick Henry has 1,421 all-purpose yards, but 96 of those yards are just receiving. There are other ones are just rushing. Where Saquon has 1,649 all-purpose yards. So 250 yards of Saquon's purpose of yards are from passing. So all-purpose yards also factor into the fact that Saquon is as far as MVP is a tier above Derrick Henry for all-purpose yards. That means he's running and catching the ball.
Exactly, absolutely. The V in MVP is valuable. So if you have somebody who's out there running and catching and scoring touchdowns on both, I think he has two. Saquon has 2 receiving touchdowns, like just under 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? So he's out there. He's doing both. That's value. That's adding value.
Great question. Great comment. Now, real quick before we close this thing up, as all our viewers can see, we're not rocking the normal Regal Eagle gear today. We got our jerseys on, representing our favorite team. I want everybody to go through and talk about why they got that jersey on, the number they got on, and what's the reason behind that. Go ahead, Meek.
Hey, I'm starting with we seeing right here the original dog. The original dog. You and a dog. I got my boy Vic on because he was that guy. Vic was that guy. If he would have kept his nose clean, man, he would have been around a lot longer, man. One of the first players to be, on the all-time greats on Madden. He's been doing that thing since playing at Warwick High School in Newport News, Virginia, Bad News, 757. He went up and did his thing in Blacksburg. He came out of Atlanta, was doing that thing, man. The first critical game he had, I don't know, as a Falcon playing against the Minnesota Vikings. He came up, did that thing, won the game, and then ran straight off the field, man. He established who he was. It was Vic. He was that guy. Vic was that guy. After Randall Cunningham, Vic was that guy in the NFL, and I loved it when he came there. That's one of the reasons why I came to Philly as a fan with Randall Cunningham, but they always had a quarterback that looked like me. You know what I mean? They weren't as good as me, but they looked like me.
Randall right here.
So I did the thing, and that's why I got Vic on, baby. Let's go, Vic.
What you got, Johnny? What you got on?
If you watched the Eagles last season, you know who does it.
Hey, you already know.
Hassan Reddick coming here and he dumping that quarterback to the ground. So we having a problem with the defensive end. We had a all-pro defensive end go down last week. We need, we're out there shopping for his replacement, shopping for somebody who can at least try to fill his shoes temporarily. So I'm wearing my man Hassan Reddick, a New Jersey native. I'm channeling all my Hassan Reddick energy to the Philadelphia Eagles defensive linemen, the whole line for tomorrow's game. You know what I'm saying? His spirit is still there. I'm still rocking his jersey because I love the way he played the last couple of years. So I'm pushing that energy from New York right now to Baltimore tomorrow.
Who you got on, Duke? Who you got on?
Man, look, you already know, man. Your boy got on the ill Kelly Green BG joints, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I got it on because guess what, man? Coming up, I was always a small dog, even though I'm the fat dog now, but I was always the smallest. You know what I'm saying? All my friends was bigger than me. All my friends was taller than me. And when it came to BG came in underrated. They said the band was a bust. He's coming from Gold Blue, I'm saying, from the Wolverines. He said he want to go make it, and man, he did everything he was supposed to do when he came to us. We confided him. He succeeded in every way possible. Biggest trash talker ever, and if y'all know me, man, I talk all the trash to everybody at my job. They know I talk trash too. I boast as much as anybody, but guess what? I take the boast in just as well. So if you want crap talk me, let's go ahead crap talk. I'm there with you. It don't really matter to me. So, and then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, BG, you know, he had a little injury, whatever, this season, and he's out for the rest of the season. Hopefully this isn't his last thing, but if it is, guess what? Just like Nisha said early in the show, the man went out up top. He did everything he's supposed to do for us, and guess what?
I got your boy on. I got your boy.
Oh, I thought you just cut me off. Look, I know we had the hour and everything, but don't cut me off, brother. Okay, but you know what? But that's why I wore my GBG. Now go ahead, Sal.
I got my boy Saquon. I know he's gonna represent the battle of the running backs. You know what I'm saying? Representing out of Penn State. You know what I'm saying? That Pennsylvania boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Philly. He went to Penn State, so I gotta represent the hometown when I see it. So Saquon gonna win that battle. That's why I'm representing him today.
All right.
Okay. Now you know before we close it out, we talk about our predictions.
Okay.
We talk about our predictions of the game. I'm gonna let Duke go ahead and get started. What's your prediction for the game, Duke?
Like I said earlier, man, it's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be a tight. I feel like it's gonna be like 23-27. I don't think either team is gonna go over 30, but I feel it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be just like it was before the 2-3 score games. 23-27 Eagles. I'm saying all the way. That's what's gonna be.
What you got, Meech?
Hey, I'm gonna give it 30. I'm gonna give it 30-24. 30-24 Eagles.
30-24. Okay. Got it. What you working with over there?
I think it's gonna be a one-score game. I was almost dead on with my prediction last week, man. Saquon messed me up. So hopefully, considering all the same factors, everything in that regard, I'll be on point again. So I'm going 31-27 Eagles.
31-27. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. We got Luck that says it's gonna be 31-17. He says it's gonna be a blowout. He thinks it's gonna be a blowout. Now I'm gonna go ahead. This is gonna be a close one for me. I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a 23-28. 23-28 game. Go ahead with the Eagles.
All right.
And we got to remember too. I know we're short on time. Baltimore has allowed 24.5 points a game now. They've allowed it, but they haven't really played defenses like us. They've allowed them to 25 points a game, and we was doing that last year with them minus Saquon Barkley. So, hey, game time this time. Let's go.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it's going to be a lot of running.
Oh,
it's going to be a lot of running the ball.
We know.
It's gonna be cold too. That ball.
Hey, Gotti just hit it on the head too. I think it's gonna be cold and windy down there. I think it's gonna come down to them two kickers too. The legs on Justin Tucker and goddamn Jake Elliott. It's gonna come down to them boys as well.
Yeah,
yeah, baby.
I hope they've been practicing because lately them kickers been.
Yeah, they've been on
Both of them redeemed themselves. Both of them redeemed it. They had a little down period, but they held their own. They came back. Justin Tucker. Hey, Justin Tucker's the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Justin Tucker and Jake the Make Elliott. He's 8th accuracy in all-time NFL history. So, hey, let's go. I think it might come down to their legs.
It might be. Oh, so that's it. That's for the show. That's it for the show. Like I said, want to give another shout out to all our loyal fans, all the loyal subscribers out there, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Sure. Everybody else gonna close the comments before we close this thing down. Any closing comments?
Peace. Cut me off. Start the music. Start the music.
Othello on the beat.